Welcome to Agoracom Small Cap TV, a production of Agoracom in which we speak with small cap executives and industry leaders about recent important developments in the space. With us today, I'm really happy to have for the first time Rob Cook. He's Senior Vice President of the Canadian Securities Exchange. Most of you out there know it as the CSE, and it's also the fastest growing stock exchange in Canada. Rob, welcome to the show.
Thank you, George. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you. The big news we want to talk about with you today is the recent development out of KWG Resources, fully migrating over to the CSE, delisting from the TSX Venture. Want to congratulate you on that. That just further supports the fact that you're the fastest growing stock exchange in the country. What does this mean to the CSE?
The CSE welcomes KWG's full migration. They listed here some time ago. They've been duly listed, and they wanted to make sure that this was a stock exchange that was accessible, viable, and well regulated. And they've made that decision now, and we're pleased with that because KWG is a successful mineral exploration company with a long track record and significant assets in the Ring of Fire area of Northern Ontario.
Now, the CSE has been around for a long time, but it's only been recently, the last couple of years, where it really started gaining momentum. So it's still fresh in the minds of small cap investors. They're still trying to figure things out. What does this mean for shareholders of KWG Resources in terms of liquidity and how do you address potential separation anxiety after being on the TSX Venture for so long? What does this mean for what can KWG shareholders expect?
Right. Well, the good news is that the CSE is fully integrated into the Canadian capital markets. So you will find that the investment dealers that trade our stocks are the same investment dealers that are trading stocks on the other Canadian exchanges. We are, connected to all of the usual points, and such as CDS, the clearing and settlement system. So this exchange works like any other exchange, and is fully open and accessible to investors not only in Canada but around the world.
Most small cap investors use the big bank, especially in Canada, the Canadian 5 banks, or online trading services. Will anything change for KWG shareholders with respect to buying and selling KWG stock?
No, it shouldn't, because all of the major banks' discount brokerage arms are connected to the CSE, and any investor can enter an order from their home computer.
Yeah, and just to put in my own 2 cents, I got to tell you, I've got an online trading account, and I buy and sell CSE stocks, and I don't have any issue whatsoever. Let's talk about the fact that you just launched the CSE Composite Index, and what I didn't know up until today is that KWG is actually in that index. So tell us about the index. How many companies has involved? What's the purpose of the index, and the role KWG is playing in there?
Right. Well, the purpose of the index is to reflect the trading activity that is occurring on the CSE. We use a market capitalization weighted index, so the larger companies in terms of their market cap, are the ones that are included. So there's about 65 companies that are included in the composite index, and that does include KWG. Now, that's 65 companies, that's out of about 250 in total that we have. But in terms of their market capitalization, they represent between 75 and 80% of the market cap of the exchange.
All right, so we'll be sure to watch that because it's just recently launched, so it's going to be great to watch that index develop over the next few months, and really get a track record behind it. But I'm assuming for you to launch the comps index, you've been pretty confident in terms of liquidity and activity, obviously, on the CSE. What can you tell KWG shareholders and everybody else out there about the kind of liquidity and the big things you've seen happen on the CSE over the last 18 months?
Right. Well, the liquidity on our exchange is similar to that of other stock exchanges in Canada, in a sense, it's driven by investor interest in the companies themselves. People don't invest in the stock exchange; they'll invest in the shares of a company.
Good point.
So we have seen activity pick up as we have grown in the past couple of years. Not only has our number of companies listed grown by a significant amount. For instance, last year we added 76 companies to our list. But also our trading. Our trading grew by at least double-digit figures in each of the past 2 years. So there's been quite an uptick in terms of listing activity and trading activity. So you will often see companies that will trade a few million shares a day on our exchange.
Yeah, most most upstart enterprise of any kind, whether it's a software company, whether it's a new stock exchange, usually have some kind of game-changing event that really drives them into the spotlight. And I think for the CSE, it was the advent of the medical marijuana companies that have been listed on the CSE over the last 12, 15 months or so, and the kind of volumes. If you could talk about the kind of volumes you're seeing there, and during those massive volume trading days, did you experience any kind of interruptions or any kind of growing pains, or was the CSE able to handle all that pretty well?
Yeah, that's a good question. The activity was fairly extraordinary, particularly approximately a year ago, late first quarter and second quarter. There was quite a bit of activity, and a lot of it was in the shares of the companies that are pursuing interest in the medical marijuana industry, but it wasn't restricted to that. Our technology sector is a big sector on the CSE. It represented about 25% of our companies. However, it also represented about 50% of the dollars raised in financings by all of our companies. And currently our largest company is one called Helios Medical Technologies. So it's certainly not all about medical marijuana, although there certainly has been a lot of investor interest in that sector.
Yeah, I think that's what brought a lot of the interest, or a lot of notoriety to CSE, where everyone's been able to discover the breadth of your success. I want to congratulate you on that success, Rob. You and I have known each other for quite a number of years. You were there at the foundation of this CSE, and to see it grow and flourish the way it has, congratulations on that, and especially related to this interview, congratulations on the full migration of KWG resources over to the CSE.
Much appreciated. It's very good to talk to you, George.
Thanks for being right here, Rob. We appreciate it. You've been watching Rob Cook. He's a Senior Vice President of the Canadian Securities Exchange, better known as the CSE. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.